Good morning, students. Today we shall continue our class with machine drawing. So previous classes we have discussed on section of solids from part A. Today we shall discuss on keys, that is from part B. First of all, let us discuss about the introduction of keys. So keys, quarters and pin joints are temporary fasteners that are used to join two components. Keys are used to join two components and they are used to transmit force and motion from one element to another. Why keys are used? Keys are usually used to transmit force and motion. Few of the function of keys are transmitting motion, and they are used to transmit the force. They also are used to prevent the relative rotation between members by keys and keyways. They are also used to secure gears, pulleys, discs, shafts, axles, etc. Keys are made up of material such as medium carbon steels. Why steels are used? Why? Because keys are subjected to shearing and crushing loads. Hence, keys are usually made with medium carbon steel. Let us now discuss the different parts of a keyed joint and its explanation. So figure shows a keyed joint here. In this keyed joint we see two main parts, that is, one is the shaft, the other one is the hub. So a keyway is present in the shaft. The keyway helps for the proper alignment of the key. So in the figure we have indicated that it is a taper key. So a part of the key lies in a groove called as the key seat that is cut in a shaft, and the other part extends above the shaft and will fit in the keyway that is cut in the hub. So after assembly, a part of the key is in the shaft and a part is in connecting elements such as pulley, gear wheel, sleeve, etc. The keys are tapered along their length to facilitate the assembly. So for easy assembling of the keys, usually the keys are made in taper. In order to have the same strength as that of the shaft, keys are made with the same material similar to that of the shaft, that is medium carbon steel is the material chosen for the keys also. Let us now discuss the types of keys. Based on geometry, keys are classified as taper keys and parallel or feather keys. What are taper keys? So we shall discuss it. A taper key is shown in the figure below. So here we can see the front view and the side view of a taper sunk key. The taper key is uniform in width but tapered in thickness. It is tapered in thickness and it is having a width of uniform. When it is inserted, it prevents the relative rotation as well as the axial movement between the two pieces. When the key is inserted between the shaft and the hub, so it prevents the relative rotation as well as axial movement between those two pieces. Usually the standard taper that is provided for the taper keys is 1 in 100. So the key may be having of cross sections such as rectangular or square. So these keys are sunk in the shaft to a depth of 1/2 of its nominal thickness. So half of the thickness of the key will be inside the shaft and the other half will be in the hub. So which will be a tapered portion, and this keyway in the shaft is always parallel to the axis. The keyway in the shaft is parallel to the axis. In the figure we can see that if D is the diameter of the shaft and L is the length of the key, then in the side view we can see the width of the key that is indicated by W. The width of the key is indicated by W, and we can also see in the figure that half of the key is inserted inside the shaft, that is 0.5 times the thickness. If you take T as the thickness of the key, then 0.5 times the thickness will be in the shaft and remaining 0.5 times the thickness will be inside the hub. So this is the picture, this is the 2D drawing or the front view and the side view of a taper sunk key. If D is the diameter of the shaft, if we take D as the diameter of the shaft, then the proportions pertaining to the width and the thicknesses are as below. So the width of the key is noted as always W, so which is equal to 0.25 times the diameter. 0.25 times the diameter plus 2 mm. And the nominal thickness is T, capital T, which is equal to 0.2 times the diameter plus 2 mm. So this is the details of the taper key. So I shall explain once again. A taper key is a one which is preventing the relative rotation as well as the axial movement between the two pieces, and the taperness provided to this type of key is 1 in 100, and they may have rectangular or cross section, rectangular cross section or square cross section. And if we consider the thickness of the key as capital T, then half of the key will be inserted inside the shaft and the other half will be in the hub, and this keyway in the shaft is always parallel to the axis, and these are the proportions pertaining to the key, taper key. Now let us discuss the second type of key, that is a parallel or feather key. What is a parallel or feather key? These are sunk keys, as I said. So in the previous section, taper keys are shown in the figure. We see that it is a taper sunk key. The word sunk indicates that it is the half of the key is inside the shaft. So that's why they are called as sunk keys. These are also sunk keys, parallel keys or feather keys. They are also sunk keys with uniform width and thickness. That means they are not having any taperness. They are of uniform width and thickness, and they are available in cross sections such as rectangular cross section, square cross section and dovetail cross section. Where do we find these types of keys? So these keys are used in mechanical devices such as clutches, gearboxes, wherein we require axial movement. Example of this parallel or feather key is a clutch plate and gears. So the parallel or feather keys are fastened into the keyway of the shaft by 2 or more screws. So in the next slide we can see the figure of this parallel or feather key. So this key is fastened to the keyway by using 2 or more screws. So let us now see its figure. So this is the figure of a parallel or feather key. Here you can see the 2 screws. These 2 screws are used to fasten the key to the shaft. So this is the capital D indicates the diameter of the shaft, and the thickness of the key is 0.5 T, that is inside the shaft, and 0.5 times the T in the hub. So half of the thickness of the key will be inside the shaft and half of the thickness of the key will be inside the hub portion. Further, these keys are classified as peg feather key, single headed key and double headed key. We shall discuss these 3 types of keys at the end of this session. Coming to the third type of key, that is a gib head key. Sometimes the small end of the taper key may not be accessible. As we discussed, the first type of key, that is a taper key. As we know that the taper key has taperness, due to which we have 2 distinguished ends. One is the small end, the other one is the big end. Sometimes this small end of the taper key may not be accessible, and in such case the bigger end of the key is provided with a head, and that head is called as gib. So that's why such keys are called as gib head keys. So below are the proportions of the gib head key, and we can see the figure of a gib head key. So the figure shows one side we have the side view of the gib head key, the arrangement of the gib head key, and the front view of the gib head key, and we can also see the gib head key also in the right side of the slide. So if we consider capital D as the diameter of the shaft, then the figure shows the various dimensions of the key individually. In the figure we can see that W is the width of the key, and W is equal to 0.25 the capital D plus 2 mm. 0.25 times the capital D plus 2 mm. And the thickness of the key is T, capital T, which is equal to 0.66 W. Width of the gib head key and height of the gib head key are all kept as 1.5 T. So width of the gib head key is represented as B. We can see here that is B. So B is equal to 1.5 times the thickness, and the height of the gib head key, that is H, is also equal to 1.5 times the thickness. If L is the length of the key, then L is taken as D to 1.5 D. So the L will be varying from D to 1.5 times the diameter of the shaft. And in the figure we can see in the key that there is a chamfer, and the angle chosen for this chamfer is 45 degrees. Why these keys are called as gib head key? Because a head is provided on the larger end of the key, and because of this purpose it is called as gib head key. Coming to the next type of key called as Woodruff key. This is in the form of a segment of a circular disc. Usually this type of key is in the form of a segment of a circular disc and of uniform thickness. It fits into the corresponding form of a keyway cut in the shaft, so that the flat portion will always be projecting outside. The circular part will always be inside the shaft, and the flat portion will be projecting outside. So this projecting part will fit in the keyway inside the mating piece, adjusting itself to any taper in it. So the shaft gets weakened when we make use of such kind of keys. The shaft is weakened because the greater depth of the key will be cut in the shaft, due to which it gets weakened. So where do we find the application of such type of keys? So Woodruff keys are used in feed gearbox of lathe machine. Feed gearbox of lathe machine makes use of Woodruff keys. So figure shows a Woodruff key. So we can see the front view and the side view of the Woodruff key. Here the circular portion, we can see the small semicircular portion is nothing but the Woodruff key. So the major portion of the key will be inside the shaft. The circular portion will be inside the shaft, due to which it weakens the strength of the shaft. Coming to the proportions of Woodruff key. So as we discussed, all the proportions of the keys will be termed in terms of the diameter. So here if we take the diameter of the shaft as capital D, so D indicates the diameter of the shaft, capital D. Then the thickness of the keyway, we can see in the side view, it is indicated as W. So the thickness of the key is 0.25 times the diameter, to 0.25 times the diameter. Then the diameter of the key, because the key is also semicircular in nature, the diameter of the key is indicated by small d, which is equal to 3 times the width, that is width or thickness. Then height of the key, is taken as T. So the thickness, or what you call height, is nothing but thickness. It is represented as capital T, and T is equal to 1.35 times the width, and the depth of the key in the hub is represented as T1, and the depth of the key in the shaft is represented as T2. So in the figure we can see that T1 and T2 in the front view of the Woodruff key, we can see the representation of T1 and T2. So T1 represents the depth of the key in the hub, which is equal to 0.5 times W plus 0.1 mm. T1 is equal to 0.5 W plus 0.1 mm, and the depth of the key in the shaft is represented as T2, which is equal to 0.85 times the W. 0.85 times W. So this is about the Woodruff key. This figure indicates the different types of feather keys. So we can see that, as I explained, that the feather keys or parallel keys are of three types. The first one is called as the peg feather key, the second one is called as single headed key, and the third one is double headed key. Why the first figure, in the figure it is called as peg key? Because the peg key has a peg. In the figure we can see at the top, okay, the key has a peg in the center which will fit inside the hub, and that's why it is called as peg key. The single headed feather key, we can see the second figure that it is a single headed feather key, and this single headed feather key has a single head at one side of the key, and it is attached to the hub by means of screw. We can see a small hole wherein the screw will be inserted. So this type of key will be attached to the hub by means of a screw. The second type is a single headed key. The third type is a double headed key. The double headed key is also shown here. So it has heads on the either side of the key, that is, two heads are provided for such type of key. That's why these are called as double headed feather key. So this is the continuation part of the feather key, wherein there are three types of keys: peg key, single headed key, and double headed key. The peg key has a peg at the center. Single headed key has a single head and a small hole through which the screw is inserted to fasten it to the hub, and the double headed key has two heads at the either end of the key. So with this we stop this session. We'll continue our next class with joints. Thank you.